there is no question that they are going to come for Zohran. They are going to come for him. It is going to get so much worse now. They haven't even scratched the surface. And yet he is handling this moment the way that you would hope that somebody in his position is handling it. So here's what Zohran had to say when he was confronted about the fact that whether Cuomo is going to campaign or not, he is still going to be on the ballot line as an independent. No surprise there, but I am sure that he's going to be working on behalf of Adams and the establishment to try to get him elected. So we'll see what
Adams is talking a lot of game, says he can beat you. And also it seems like business leaders are meeting to try and, I guess, stop your momentum. What's your reaction?
You know, this is all a recognition of what we've built over 8 months, which is the kind of campaign that has very little precedent in our city, one that speaks to New Yorkers across the 5 boroughs with a focus on affordability. And this is a campaign powered by a coalition that is going to expand. And I'm excited to speak even to business leaders about why I believe we need to increase the state's top corporate tax rate, which would actually also make life easier for those businesses and for their workers. And I think what Eric Adams is looking to distract from is the fact that we won the very neighborhoods that he won by in single digits in 2021. We won them by double digits. Bed-Stuy, Harlem, Washington Heights. Our coalition is one that looks in some ways like his, but unlike what he did over the last 4 years, we're actually going to deliver on our promises.
It's how somebody who is not only somebody who cares, but is actually somebody who knows how to play politics very well, I would say.
So I know Zohran.
By all means.
He is a lovely person. I saw someone in the comments say he's nothing but a male AOC all talk. No. This man has put his body on the line. He has he's gone on hunger strikes in the assembly. He has sponsored 19 pieces of legislation, and he's only been there for 2 terms. That's a lot for any sitting elected official in the New York State Assembly. I 100% unequivocally believe that he will do everything that he says that he's going to do as mayor of New York City.
Yeah.
That's really good to hear. I'm very pleased to hear that because we're so sick of being disappointed. You know what I'm saying? And I know that he will have whatever limitations he has, but you just want someone to fight. You want somebody to at least do what they say they're going to do, even if they can't successfully do it for whatever reasons. You want them to at least be doing what they said they're going to do.
Yeah. Yep. Zohran was here with me in 2021. He came and he knocked on doors for me. Oh. We ate eggplant wings afterward. We had a lovely time. So I first met him on Clubhouse. And there was a group of DSA electeds who were having a conversation about, their first couple of years in office. And I was like, I'm in Buffalo. I don't have a political home, but I would like to run for office. And they scheduled a separate call with me. And we talked about it. And they were like, yeah, you should definitely run. And he had been a supporter from ever since then. And, it's all good. But he's been handling the media like a champ. I'm super impressed. He is sharp.
We'll continue.
I agree.
On the business leaders, are you looking to either talk to Kathy Wild or those that she can connect you with to try to beef up, I guess, advisors or, how you'll explain your economics to those people that are worried about your policies?
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure to speak with Kathy Wild over the course of this campaign. And even in moments of disagreement, always knowing that there's a conversation to be had. It's something that I'm even more committed to because for too long we've understood politics as something that only takes place between people who agree on everything. This needs to be a city where we meet, especially with those that disagree with us.
What's up with Cuomo calling and saying congratulations, but now he is considering maybe jumping in? Staying in through the general.
I appreciated the call from the governor. I appreciated his concession, and I told him what I've been telling New Yorkers, which is that my focus is on bringing the Democratic Party back together and on leading this city. No matter if a New Yorker voted for me or voted for Andrew Cuomo or didn't vote at all out of frustration with a broken political system, I will be their mayor.
Hochul today asked her, where's the endorsement for the Democratic nominee? She said she still has to make a couple calls. There are obvious points of disagreement, but she is the de facto head of the party. Do you think that she's hesitant right now and skeptical? And what do you make of, I guess, the others like Hakeem Jeffries? I know you also spoke to Chuck Schumer. How have those conversations been going?
I've appreciated all those conversations. And frankly, one of the things we all know about Governor Hochul is her focus on affordability. And that is what has driven this entire campaign. And that's part of the conversation I had with her, with House Minority Leader Jeffries, with Senator Chuck Schumer is how we build on this campaign to deliver these very things. And I'm looking to earn endorsements of so many New Yorkers who weren't a part of this original coalition, but join us as we look to deliver on its promise.
That is not only a fantastic answer, but he's also very well aware that they're looking for anything they could use against him in terms of an attack that he would be throwing back at them. He's just saying, hey, listen, I know they don't want me, and that's okay. I'll pretend like they like me, and I'll just make them look bad to the constituents who are going to be like, hey, how come nobody's supporting this guy? He seems pretty awesome. The more people realize how broken the system is, the better. And I think he's doing a great job of that. Your thoughts?
Fantastic. Love him.
Yeah.
Right now, do you think that they're accepting you, or like, how do you feel about that? Like, do you think you're still kind of like the outside looking in and they're a little hesitant about you?
I feel very much like we have moved from the outside firmly into the mainstream of the politics of this city, firmly because of the support of New Yorkers. I mean, we're talking about having received more votes than Eric Adams got through the entirety of ranked choice voting in 2021, and we did it just in the first round. It's a realignment in this city that is driven by a desire for results.
Let me get to your policies. I talked to Carl Hasey, too, this morning, and he said, you know, people said I was inexperienced, too, when I first won the speakership. And he also said, look, the assembly is always wanting to tax the wealthy. Is that encouragement for you when Hochul says no, but you have at least possibly one ally in the legislature?
It absolutely is encouragement, and I've appreciated Speaker Hasey's leadership over the time that I've been in the assembly and his consistent belief in the necessity of making life across the city and state easier for working people.
Okay, that's a load of bullshit. You want the first line of bullshit out of him? Senator Hasty is not good people. I understand why he's saying it, and that's fine. You want to talk about one of the people that has been on the front lines of blocking the New York Health Act? Well, that's what Hasty's responsibility is. So I get what he's doing, which is okay.
Let India talk on that, because I think that it's like he still has to play politics. I mean, look, he's, you know, the mayor has to do that, right?
You know, I think that in this case, he's speaking specifically about taxing the rich. And I think that's okay. And I think that this is a game of not saying what you don't have to say. I did a lot of that, and I still do. And like in my political maturity, I'm learning, you know, I'm reflecting a lot back on like these unforced errors where like you're speaking from emotion, right? And like you can still speak from the heart and speak in a way that is censored enough that you're not cutting off your nose. I'll say that.
Fair enough.
And his knowledge of the fact that ultimately when we want to take a cost away from a working person, we also have to fund that, and we can do so by asking the wealthiest New Yorkers, the most profitable corporations, to pay just that little bit more to make life better for everyone, including themselves.
City-run grocery stores, are you reaching out at all to the Bodega Association, to the
We're going to talk about the bodegas.
So to fund that, we can do so by asking the wealthiest New Yorkers, the most profitable corporations, to pay just that little bit more to make life better for everyone, including themselves.
City-run grocery stores, are you reaching out at all to the Bodega Association, to the Supermarket Association, to try to prep them for a possible, you know, city-run grocery stores?
I've been having a number of those conversations over the course of the campaign. I look forward to having more of them. And I think ultimately, speaking to the fact that for many New Yorkers, they can't even find a place to have affordable groceries at their fingertips. And the pilot program that we've spoken about, 1 in 5 boroughs, is something that would cost less than half of what the city's already spending in its City Fresh program.
Donald Trump called you a 100% communist lunatic.
I totally called him a 100% communist lunatic. He's a really stupid person. I am the man. He's a loser. And that's the end of the discussion. Listen, I think if a government-run grocery store, just and maybe it's just one, and maybe it's one up in the Bronx or in Harlem, and it's going to help those people in such a dramatic way. You know what's going to end up happening, India? People from the Upper West Side and the Upper East Side, they're going to go up to that place, and they're going to start bringing money into that community, and that community is going to start to improve. It's so obvious that his ideas make sense.
Are good.
Yeah,
they're great. And Trump called him ugly and said that his voice is grating. I'm like, first of all, he's dashingly handsome.
Oh my
and
God, he's so cute.
And Donald Trump sits around and listens to RFK talk every day. Like, are you kidding me?
Excuse me, I don't appreciate you talking about grading voices if you're not going to mention mine. And I've tried very hard for many
I
years.
think he's adorable, and I think that the hate is predominantly jealousy. And I hope that he is
Absolutely.
able to do a lot of the things. And you know, again, the people with the categorizations and the labels and whatever, he's trying to help people. He's trying to fight for the least of these. What difference? It's just so absurd to me that people are so stuck on labels.
Well, you've even said that the only formidable opponent that Trump has had since he became president again is President Sheinbaum in Mexico. He doesn't really know what to do with her because she is very much like Mamdani. And he can't box that person, just like we never would have dealt with Trump running this country if Bernie was the nominee in 2016 when he was at his best. That's how it would have unfolded, which, you know, again,
he doesn't know what to do with people that are genuinely decent, smarter than him, and appealing. He does not know what to do with that.
Correct. Yeah, no, listen, there's many more layers to this. We'll discuss it in the future, but it's obvious that MAGA is hurting themselves in such a substantial way, the way they're going after him. And especially the fact that they're calling him an Arab when he's an Indian, it's like your ignorance is so pathetic. Like, it's so pathetic.
Because he's Muslim, so to them it's all the same.
It's all the same.
Right.
Wear the ignorance. Wear it proud, I guess.
What do you make of that and the other reaction from Republicans? I think Elise Stefanik said, listen, this is the result of Kathy Hochul and other Democrats failing and their policies failing that would elect or almost elect, I guess, a Democratic Socialist to City Hall. What's your reaction to those Republicans?
I think ultimately they are looking to take away from the fact that we won this race through a focus on affordability. And they're looking to distract from that because of the fact that they have looked to exploit that very issue time and time again without delivering on it. President Trump ran an entire campaign on the premise of cheaper groceries and better cost of living and the persecution of political enemies. And he has failed in the first and the second and only delivered in the third. And so it makes sense that he would spend more time talking about how I look and how I sound and who I am than what I'm fighting for, because to do so would bring attention to the fact that he claimed to do the same and has delivered on none of it.
That's a beautiful smackdown.
That is a 5-star.
Razor sharp, focused answer.
Yeah, this guy did well in debate class, no question about it.
Ali Najmi on election night told me that day one, you guys are going to change or start a new push outreach to Jewish voters. How do you continue to, I guess, massage those fears that, again, those business leaders have, but then the Jewish community? What's your plan, I guess, to either re-engage or continue engagement?
We have to continue to speak to any New Yorker, especially New Yorkers who are concerned or disagree. And I am so excited at the support I've received from a number of Jewish New Yorkers and Jewish organizations. And just in the last few days to have the endorsements of Congressman Nadler, of State Senator Brad Hoylman Siegel, of Manhattan Borough President Mark Levine has been so meaningful to me. And also, it is by no means the end of the work that we have to do, which is introduce myself, and even more than speaking is listening and understanding how this city can live up to the promise I've made of protecting Jewish New Yorkers.
Do you know why he doesn't have to answer for any of that? Because he doesn't have a problem with Jewish people. And there's no history of him having a problem with Jewish people. There's probably not a single thing in his anything that would intimate that he has a problem with Jewish people, wouldn't fight for Jewish people. The fact that they're segregating out Jewish people and making that an issue is because they're bigots, not because of anything about him. He shouldn't have to do anything extra special for the Jews. Nothing. He should just exist. I don't understand this.
And let me just say, even though he's a political lifer and we are so done with them, and as you know, India, it is so much worse in the Democratic Party than the Republican Party. But credit where credit is due. Jerry Nadler did come out and give not only kudos, but a full-throated endorsement of Mamdani. And Nadler is the elder statesman, Jewish representative of New York City. He has been for well over a generation. So kudos to him for doing what he's doing. But I think the big difference between somebody like Nadler and somebody like his congressional neighbor, Hakeem Jeffries, is that Nadler doesn't have any more political ambition. He knows he's at the end of his career. He could do whatever he wants. Jeffries is hell-bent on replacing Pelosi as Speaker of the House, if that even is possible, because Lord knows the Democrats will still F it up in the midterms. But the point is, it's so obvious why that is happening. But kudos to Nadler for doing the right thing as far as coming out in support of him.
Yeah. And I mean, he ran with Brad Lander, who is very well respected in the Jewish community in New York City. So there's that. Yeah. And I mean, I guess I just said that like, oh, I got a Black friend, but you
that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. We don't, I honestly, the whole separation, purposeful victimhood separation, as if the Jews need to be handled with kid gloves because a Muslim person got elected. Like, are we that delicate and frail? Like, and here's the thing. And even if we don't like that, too bad. Like, I guess I'm just, the whole concept of him having to like kowtow in some special way to the Jewish community because of his ethnicity is off the wall to me.
Wild.
Like, just off the wall to me. Like, as if there's anything about him in any way. Like, I'm just not getting it. And of course, this is
the least threatening person you could ever be around.
That is
say that again. Wait, what did she say?
He's the most non-threatening person to
be. It really shows. It's constantly a testament to the poor quality of our education system.
Sure.
That's what I keep is screaming in my face. The fact that, okay, so he's brown and Muslim, so he's an Arab, and so therefore he must hate Jews. And the line of thinking that we get to from just his name and his appearance is absurd. Just follow that chain of events. And my understanding is he's an Indian man born in Uganda.
Uganda, yes. And
well, what the hell does that have to do with the price of tea in China?
He wound up in the States because when Uganda won its liberation, the United States gave them 23 scholarships for folks to come study abroad. And his father was one of the recipients of the scholarship.
That's just, good for him. But
and that's
again,
supposed to be the American dream, right?
Yes, but I still don't understand how any of that has anything to do with Jews.
But it doesn't matter, because in the end, it's not even about that. It's about the fact that he is fucking with capital.
Well, that I appreciate them having a problem with. They should have a problem with that. That's good. Okay, good. I'm glad they're displeased. But I will say this Jew finds him incredibly yummy. So I have no problem with him. And I don't care if he's Hindu. And with the zit on my forehead, I could almost convert to Hindu at this point. But yeah, I'm just saying.